Gamecast from MSN.
Hello, dear listener. Welcome to the MSN Gamecast. My name is Ian Lee. How you doing? Nick is here. Hello, Nick.
Hello there.
And Verity, you're actually here this time.
I am actually here this time.
Not Robot Virtual Verity
No.
2.0, which I think may have fooled a few people.
It might have done. It's very popular.
Very popular.
We'll have to see how you do today.
If you get too big for your boots, young lady, you're off.
I'm off and Robot Verity's back in.
Now, Nick, you have, basically, before we started this recording, you said for the past month you've done nothing apart from play video games.
Pretty much,
So,
yes.
Verity and I are going to sit back and you
Yeah.
can tell us what you've been playing.
Well, I've been playing an awful lot of Portal 2, of course.
Oh, you got sucked into this nonsense, have you?
Oh, it's fantastic.
Okay, well,
Very,
tell me,
very good.
sell it to me, because the first Portal, I'll be honest, I found a little dull.
Did you? Did you play it all the way through?
No.
Did you get it? Oh, well.
I played it for maybe about 33, 34 minutes.
Yes, I think you need to go a little further, a
Why?
little deeper into it.
Gamers, make the first 33, 34 minutes exciting, and then I'll stick with it. Don't make it boring.
Well, Portal 2 certainly does that.
Okay.
It grabs you right from the outset
Yeah.
because it's really, really cleverly scripted and it's really funny. Stephen Merchant is one of the key characters in it, voicing one of the key characters.
Okay.
And his character appears right at the very start
Yeah.
of the game and basically leads you through the tutorial parts of it.
Yeah.
And is very, very clever script, very fun right from the start, and lots of characters like GLaDOS from the original game.
So you have to
come
do,
back into
it's like puzzles, and you go through a wall or something, is that?
Yeah, pretty much. It's like a current gen version of an old school puzzle platformer.
Okay.
So it's got some very old school elements to it.
Yeah.
I would say, but it's there's some really sort of quite intricate gameplay involved with using these portal guns.
Portal guns.
Which brings in all sorts of physics and stuff like that. So you often
Nick,
have
I'm
to
going to
set
stop
them
you there
up
because
in certain ways.
you're getting lost in a mire of complete bull. Verity, does this sound like the sort of thing that you would?
I
wanna
was
play?
really excited to play Portal 2. I got it through. Problem I have is that at the minute I'm in a studio flat. So I've only got one
What?
TV.
Hang on, where's this going? Yeah, glimpses. Have you both gone
I really-
mad this month? Getting glimpses into your personal life. Okay. you're
I
in a
really
studio
wanted
flat.
to play. I've got about 3 or 4 games I really want to play lined up to play. But my boyfriend moved in with me about January time.
Congratulations.
And, thanks very much. I'm getting to a point.
Sorry, fellas,
if you
she's
keep-
taken.
If you keep going on, I won't get to my point.
Okay,
will I?
no, I'll shut up. Go on. Away you go.
And
so far we've
'cause
learned
we
you're in a
live in a-
studio flat.
Yeah.
Your boyfriend moved in.
Yeah.
And things aren't going well with him. What's
Everything's fine. He
Oh.
doesn't like gaming.
Oh,
dear.
Dump him. That's the advice.
So we only have one TV.
Yeah.
The lounge and the bedroom's in one room, obviously, because it's a studio. So
Yeah, of course.
he can't get away from it. It's a bit mean for me to always be hogging the TV. So I pretty much have to wait for him to go somewhere
Yeah.
away
Yeah.
for me to game, and he hasn't been going away, so I haven't been able to play anything
But
really.
you can do 2-player split screen co-op on Portal 2.
I tried. I was like, look, you'll like this. Honestly, it'll be really good. And he's like, I'm not sure. Because I tried to get him to play COD, didn't like it. Halo, hated it. So I set him up on the multiplayer. I was like, look, come on. And I think it was about 4 minutes, and he went, no.
What does he do for fun if he doesn't play video games?
He goes outside.
He goes out. Oh, why would you do that?
It's controversial.
I've not met this
controversial.
fella, Verity, but I think you can do better.
2-player co-op on Portal 2
Yes.
though is properly bonkers because you know the basic concept. You've got
Yeah.
this gun and you can make an entry portal and an exit, and so
Yeah.
you walk in to one end and you come out on the other. If you're playing 2-player, you've each got one of those guns, so you've got
Right.
4 portals
Ooh.
going on all over the place.
Sexy.
He was
And
very
it's-
confused.
It pretty much does your head in almost as soon as you start playing.
Yeah.
It's quite hard to wrap your mind around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
But,
that's Portal 2. Everyone
but
seems to
good
be playing
fun.
it. It's
Yeah.
been.
Everybody should play it. It's
Wow.
by far one of the best games of the year, if not the best game so far.
What we need to do is we need to, because that was an excellent quote you said there. Everyone should play it. It's the best game of the year so far.
Yeah.
Right. We need to do quotes that get on the boxes
Yes.
of video games or on. I've always wanted a quote of mine on a poster.
Yeah.
One of mine was on a recent game, like a review I did.
We mentioned this last month, I think, didn't we? What game was it that
One of your quotes made it onto something. Mine was for Need for Speed Hot Pursuit.
Right.
Oh yeah.
What did you
that's
say?
right,
Do
yeah.
it. Do it. Do it.
Oh
Do
God, I
it.
can't remember.
Oh, well, that's...
Say it was obviously very good, something nice.
What can I don't?
There's
game's all right, Ian Lee. I don't get sent that many games. Speaking of not getting sent many games, have you been sent LA Noire?
Nick has, not me.
Naughty Nick. I've got a chap who's sending it to me, and he said, you'll have it by Saturday. So, well, I'm going away for the weekend. I'm coming back Monday. Will it be there Monday? Because I'm doing this on recording this on a Tuesday, kids. And he said, you'll definitely have it. I got back yesterday from a holiday in Germany. I'd left my keys in the hotel. Had a huge row with my wife. She'd stormed off. I had to sit on the doorstep for an hour and a half waiting for a man to come break into my house for me. I'm thinking, it'll all be worth the £140 I'm paying for this because LA Noire was on the other side of this door.
Nice.
It wasn't there. They hadn't
That
sent
is
it.
awful.
So I had to send an email saying, come on, guys, where's my free copy of a game a week early? Actually, I haven't really got any chance. Anyway, so it's I haven't got it. So is the point of that story? Where did you get yours from?
Oh, it came through on the press list that we had.
Get me on this press list,
Just
Nick.
yesterday.
I certainly will. I thought you were already au fait with the Rockstar press list. So.
Well, so did I. It turns out, no, maybe I've upset them somewhere. But if you're listening, Rockstar, I think all of your games, even the ones I didn't particularly like, are excellent.
Well, there's a box quote right there.
Oh, there we go. That's what we'll do. Well, let's talk about it. LA Noire is the kind of the big thing that's coming. By the time this podcast goes out to the listener, you will probably got your grubby little fingers on it, I would imagine. It comes out on the 20th.
Yep.
Nick, you're the only one that's played it.
Yeah, well, our reviewer has played it as well, who gave it a 9 out of 10.
Ooh.
So that's pretty much in line with the other reviews that have been cropping up.
I've not seen one bad review. I've seen a few kind of things, picking the tiny little bits and pieces out, but generally saying it's as awesome as you'd expect from a Rockstar game.
Exactly. I mean, I got hold of my copy only yesterday, so I got onto it last night, got about 2 or 3 hours into the game, but that 2 or 3 hours, you're pretty much still in tutorial territory at that time.
You're just sorry to pry, and if I'm treading on toes, then do tell me, your missus doesn't mind you playing video games then?
No, she really enjoys it, actually.
You see?
I know, it's weird, isn't it?
Actually, she sent me a text message on the way into work saying, that LA Noire game, that was great. Because
there
she just sat there all last night watching me play. Yeah. But it's a very heavily story-based game, so that's cool because you really can.
You can watch it like
you
a
can
movie.
watch it. Yeah, exactly. I've seen it described in some reviews as an interactive movie.
Yeah,
really, because it really feels like that. Almost, I hesitate to say it to you, but almost getting in towards Heavy Rain type.
Well, no, this is the thing. Is I was not a fan of Heavy Rain. I thought it was Emperor's New Clothes, but I am excited about LA Noire just because it looks, from what I've seen and what I've read, it looks a little bit more in depth than Heavy Rain, and less of that. You've got to shake your orange juice and have a shave. Oh my God, that was so tedious.
Yeah, there's very little of that.
Is it on 3 discs?
On Xbox, it is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Insert disc 2 to continue gaming.
Yeah, that's a bit retro.
That's a big game. It is retro. Yeah. But
PlayStation, it's on 1 disc, is it?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a bit like the old days of the Amiga, isn't it? With your Secret of Monkey Island on 12 discs.
Yeah. I like all that. Okay, so without giving away too much of the plot, how does it kick off? What's the
well, you start off
initial
as
premise?
you play as this guy called Cole Phelps, who's a war hero, and the game is set in the late 40s, like 46, 47 at the beginning, and so you've come back from the war with a silver star, and you start your career with the LAPD, and so from there you start off and you're a beat cop in your uniform, and that part is the tutorial bit really, and pretty quickly you're into the ranks of detectives and you're working through the cases.
Have you got to the bits where, because the big selling point on this has been the facial reading faces and are people lying and stuff like that. Have you got to any of that?
Yeah,
stuff
absolutely.
Yet?
I mean that's there right from the outset.
Right.
Every single character in the game has that technology on them, so all of them have this incredibly realistic expressions. Even just characters that you meet as you're going around the game.
Wow.
And then when you get into the interrogation part of it, reading their expressions and trying to work out if they're lying is
and you can accuse them of being liars.
Yes. Yeah.
Liar.
Yeah.
Like that is how I would do it.
Yeah.
How would you do it, Verity?
I don't know. I think I would just shout at them.
Yeah. Do you get the chance to flip over tables?
I haven't flipped over a table just yet.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. But you do have an angry Irish superior in there, which is pretty much a staple of this sort of police drama, I would suggest. So that's good. And but yeah, the reading people's faces thing, it's quite clear often when someone is lying. It's kind of telegraphed to you a bit. because they'll
start rubbing their hair and looking around and going, I'm lying.
Or they're rolling their eyes, looking up at the ceiling.
Okay.
And so you can kind of guess that. But then other times it's quite well hidden. So I don't know. There's a decent balance there.
I'm very excited about it. First time in a long time I've been excited about a game, and maybe that's I've bought into the hype. Maybe I've been sucked in a little bit, and we'll see. But it's
worth being excited about. It's something genuinely different.
Yeah,
and so long as you enjoy good storytelling in a game, then you'll like it.
It's bringing a bit of point and click back as well. It's kind of
what it is. Yeah,
so
yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
Well, let us know. Now, we don't have the forum anymore, do we, for this?
No. We're
how do people get in touch
with us?
We're moving
At the
Whoa,
moment.
hey.
We're moving. MSN Games is having a shift around.
Okay.
And so the podcast
have I still got a job,
is
Nick?
finding a new home.
I've still got a job.
You
here,
do, yes. Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you for that. Sir.
Sorry, we're not going to get you hauled out halfway through the podcast.
That would be terrible for
but
wife and child. Yes.
we do.
They need to eat.
We want to keep hearing from people about the podcast. So in the interim, until we get our permanent new home, if you use the hashtag MSN Gamecast on Twitter, and use that hashtag, we'll get all your comments. We'll respond to them in the next podcast.
If you want to, can I give out an email address as well? Would that be worth doing?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
If you want to email me, iain@iainlee.com. And anything that is relevant to this, we will happily have a look at and talk about next month.
Yeah, that's an excellent idea.
I've unfollowed everybody on Twitter.
Have you?
Including you two. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, thanks for that.
I may start following you again if you prove to me that you're worth it.
Hey, my comments, about missing trains and stuff.
Geez,
they're always
very
so
I feel like I'm
interesting.
living your life in real time.
Yeah.
Oh, I went to a concert last night and I wasn't expecting much from Dirty Gangster, but he was awesome. But then I fell asleep on my train because I was so drunk. And then
This is
I
not
was
true, people.
playing with the shizzle, the bizzle. And that is kind of your life.
It is my life. Just ghetto lifestyle I lead
Very
in Teddington. It's
Gangster.
Very gangster.
It is.
But unfollow everybody on Twitter. It's very freeing.
Is it?
Well, I'm thinking of getting rid of all of my friends on Facebook.
Starting from a clean
Start
slate?
from a clean slate. Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. That's maybe what I don't understand. Do you have, when on Twitter,
Yes.
with your followers, do you have even people that you don't follow you can see in your at replies? So it's not made much difference, surely.
Yes. No. Well, it's not made that much. But I was following some people and they were filling up my timeline. Is that the correct?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. With rubbish. And I wanted to get rid of a couple, but I didn't want to upset people by getting rid of, like, you, Verity, keeping Nick. And, I didn't want to upset anybody. So everybody went, including my wife. And my wife is furious. She keeps sending me tweets saying, follow me. You promised to follow me when we got married. Do it. And I'm not, because she was quite dull.
You promised to follow her when you got married. Was that in your vows?
It may have been in the vows. I remember something about Twitter and following and honour and obey and follow her on Twitter. So I've got rid of everyone. But I will start easing myself back in. But it's kind of quite nice. But I've got two Facebooks, a private one, friends and family, and then I've got a public one. The public one's is full. It's 5,000 people you're allowed to have on it. And if you try and log in, Facebook is so messed up. If you try and log in abroad, it goes, so you're logging in from where you're not normally logging in from. So we're going to test you to see if it's you. And you get shown like 10 pictures, and you have to get 8 of them right. You have to say, who is this person in this picture?
Really?
I don't know. I've got 5,000 friends. I have no idea who any of these people are. So I always fail at tests.
That's not good.
Anyway, sorry, video games. So LA Noire, we'd like to hear your views. You can email us or you can MSN. What was the hashtag for Twitter?
MSN Gamecast.
Lovely. Let us know what you thought of it. Did it work for you? Were you disappointed? The whole shizzle. Have you been playing anything else, Nick?
I have, yes.
He really has been doing
I know
nothing
he's
else.
recently married as well, and this is all he's been doing. Things not going well at home.
Getting away with it.
Okay. Got the ring. You haven't got to try anymore.
There you go. This is it. I'll get fat next. I went off to a preview of Child of Eden.
Okay, yes.
The other day, which is basically the sequel to Rez. Did you ever play Rez?
Oh, I love Rez.
Yeah,
I loved it.
Rez for, well, it's coming out on PlayStation again, but for the moment, it's just coming out on Xbox first.
Right.
And it's Kinect controlled.
Okay.
So it's Rez that you play with your hands,
Yeah.
basically. And it's really, really cool.
Now, Rez was one of those, I got this the right game, it was one of those kind of sort of music type games, but it was a little bit more ambient and a little bit more surreal than some of the other ones that went on. And was that the one with the disc, the circle, and you had to...
It's the one where you're kind of floating through this kind of crazy space.
Yeah. That was a cracking game.
Yes, and it's that again, basically. You don't see the figure this time in front of you.
Right.
It's just you floating through space. But it's the same kind of concept. Obviously, much better visuals,
Yeah.
and these Kinect controls so that you use your hands to shoot all of the other stuff. You remember you can have to shoot all the computer viruses that are around.
I'm guessing though that Rez sold about 15 copies or something, because it's one of those games where reviewers will go, look at this crazy game from Japan, and no one kind of bought it apart from. Well, I remember. Did I buy it? I think I may have got sent. Anyway, I think I may have bought it actually. A few sort of people in the know got it. So is this going to sell anything?
Well, I hope so, because Kinect doesn't have many games like this at the moment that appeal to people that consider themselves core gamers, or whatever term you want for that. And so I think with the amount of people that have gone out and bought a Kinect system, then it should do, really.
There's been quite a buzz about it. Like there was, it's been kind of like on the. When we've been looking at the games that are out for Kinect at the minute and gone, they're a little bit casual. There's always been, but Child of Eden's coming. Child of Eden's coming. And
something a bit different.
Yeah,
I suppose.
absolutely. When is it due out?
We're looking at sometime in June for that one.
Because I saw it at E3 and TGS last year.
Right.
So it's been...
Yeah, it's sometime in June for Xbox. The PlayStation version has been put back into next year.
Wow. Kinect's kind of gone a bit quiet recently. They sort of the initial rush of releases, and then they've stopped a little bit. Or have I just missed some classic games coming out?
No, not so much. There's stuff coming soon,
right?
But yeah, there has been a little bit of a lull.
Now, speaking of lulls, you sent me in your email. You sent me. I don't think I printed it off. An interesting thing about the Nintendo 3DS.
Oh yeah.
The dude saying, what was he saying? Because I hadn't heard this line from him.
This was the Nintendo boss Satoru Iwata, and he was basically saying that he understands why sales of the Nintendo 3DS haven't been huge, and it's because all the games that are out there aren't up to much.
Wow, that's honesty, isn't it?
I'm paraphrasing him there, obviously, but what he actually said is that people are unable to find software that they want to play, and so they're in wait-and-see mode.
Well, also, I would suggest that the reason it's... And I didn't know it wasn't selling brilliantly. I would suggest it's a little bit too expensive, and they've just re-released or released loads of different DSs a few months before this anyway, so everyone's gone out and bought one of those. But has it sold badly then? Because it's a lovely little bit of kit.
It is lovely, yeah. But yeah, sales have been disappointing in most regions, and they're slipping as well. So I think the games thing is a really valid point, because the amount of software and the quality of the software that's available for it at the moment isn't really.
There's a few cracking games on there.
There's a couple, like Super Street Fighter 4, and Ghost Recon as well is good. But then you've got stuff like Rayman, which is just a port of a game from 1999, and.
But is this the thing that we've often said, or I feel that I've actually said this quite a few times, that 3D is kind of on its way out? That, in fact, didn't I say this a couple of months ago?
We have a bet.
We have a bet, don't we? Is there money involved in this bet?
I can't remember.
Yeah, there was. Yeah, I think it was a tenner.
Oh. Sweet. What did I say? That by this time next year it'll be all gone or something?
Yeah.
Oh man.
But everyone's talking about it's going to really blow up next year.
I think I've been proved right. Dear listener, could you go back to find the old podcast where I said that and clip it and send it in to me so that we...
Not just because the 3DS is failing means that 3D's...
No one's buying 3D TVs. The 3D movie industry is in freefall after, what was it, Moms from Mars Needs Moms or something? They spent like $200 million on it. It took $7 million or something in the first weekend. It's all going pear-shaped, is the polite way I can say that.
We shall see.
We shall see. But the 3DS is an amazing machine, and I've played it, and I think it's fantastic, and there are some brilliant games on it.
Totally agree.
I hope that they do kind of pull this one out of the bag.
I think the prices have to come down as well.
Yeah.
Because you think about, people complained about the Kinect lineup, but they still went out and bought a Kinect.
Yeah.
But
what was Kinect, 99 quid or something? There was a bit more than that, actually, wasn't it?
It started off 100.
It was over 100.
129
right.
It started off at.
Yeah.
But 3DS was like 220 when it came out, and I've already seen it for sort of 180.
85.
Yeah, it's down around 180.
Yeah.
But they need some games on it that really use the features that it's got. Properly use 3D and properly use all the AR stuff that they built into.
The AR stuff's incredible.
Yeah, it's
incredible.
Awesome.
Make a wicked game around it, though. Yeah. That's the thing.
That would be great.
It'll be interesting. It would be a shame if... it'd be interesting for next month if we get the figures of what the 3DS has sold and compare it with some of the other DSs, because it's... I'm surprised that it's doing so badly. To be honest. Have you played anything else, Nick? Sorry, we're jumping around like mad frogs on acid today. So have you?
Well, the other main thing for me is I've gone back to New Vegas.
Oh, I saw you. No, I was online a couple of times playing Halo Wars. Bizarrely enough, I'm going to have to throw that game away because I'm actually addicted to it. I put it in my car the other day. I'm like a junkie. I put it in my car thinking I'm going to take this and put it in a skip. And then I drove back and went, I'll have one more game. Just one more fix. But so I've noticed you're playing Fallout New Vegas quite a lot online.
Yeah.
Why?
I got... I saw that all the DLC was coming out.
Right,
and it just suddenly popped back into my head. Oh, New Vegas!
Love that game.
I should go. Because there's still stuff I hadn't done in there. And so I've gone back into New Vegas and just spent far too much time trawling around there again. But it's great fun.
You genuinely become like a 12-year-old boy when you start talking about Fallout games. You get this big grin and you start bouncing around. It's great to see that enthusiasm.
I'll be even more excited when Skyrim comes out. Because that's another big Bethesda RPG.
Oh, really?
And,
Skyrim now?
Skyrim is out on...
Skyrim?
11th of the 11th of 11. So it's got that really cool date and everything as well.
Okay.
But November 11th, Skyrim. So we've got quite a way to go on that. But
what has that zombie game come out yet?
Dead Island.
Dead Island.
No.
Have you seen there's a trailer for a BBC rubbish-looking detective series called Victor or something? Right. And it's the same... They use the same... thing of playing the tape backwards for the trailer. So it's him like, and it's not him shooting zombies or anything. It's this guy in this room on his own, and it's completely trashed. And then he sort of goes around untrashing it as it's played backwards with like really haunting music done in slow motion.
No, what
and they've obviously, it is totally a rip-off. And they've obviously just seen the trailer for the game and gone, yeah, we can do that for a rubbish detective series. And it's very poor,
terrible.
Very poor rip-off.
Yeah.
Any other games before we go on to the wealth of news?
No, that's enough for me on games.
I say wealth of news. In terms of kind of games coming out, it's all quite quiet, and I'm guessing it's because everyone knows that LA Noire is coming out. They're like, let's not even bother trying.
Yeah, well, I don't know, you say that, but there's a lot of big games coming out in June.
Okay.
Duke Nukem Forever, which people have been waiting for about 14 years for. So
and I did see a TV advert for it, so it's definitely coming.
Okay, we say definitely. It's, I thought it had been out already. It's okay. They're
no one
still
has
waiting.
it in their hand yet, do they?
No.
So I think we'll believe it when we see it. But then there's Infamous 2 as well, it's a very big Sony exclusive. And that's coming out on 10th of June. Fear 3 at the end of June.
Nothing special.
Spooky, scary.
Yeah.
And Alice Madness Returns could be cool.
What's that? I don't know.
Yeah, I saw that app. I think it was TGS, and it looked really, really good. But I didn't play the original.
What is it? I don't know. I'm unaware of this.
It's basically a twisted version of Alice in Wonderland story.
Okay.
And I think it follows on from the first Alice, which I didn't play. Did you play it?
No, pass me one more.
It's quite dark. She gets pulled into Wonderland, but Wonderland isn't like it is in the movies. It's all full of crazy things.
Yeah.
But it wasn't hands-on or anything. I didn't get to play it.
Okay.
It's kind of I just saw
well, that sounds quite interesting.
a trailer. Yeah, it's I think it's a nice take on the Alice in Wonderland. Nice fluffy Disney kind of.
Well, the Alice in Wonderland story is quite mental.
Yeah, it is.
It's darker than the Disney classic.
Yeah.
I was wondering, we should have a look. I wonder if any games are being released on May the 20th alongside LA Noire.
When
if anybody's
comes
thought,
out.
what the hell, we're going to give this Rockstar Games a run for their money. I tell you what, dear listener, we're going to have a little recording break here, and when we come back, we'll let you know. Welcome back to part 2 of the MSN Gamecast. Nick has been furiously looking up on the internet at games, and some games are being released on May the 20th, the same day as LA Noire. This is insanity. What have we got?
Which is it's a bit crazy. They're going to sink beneath all of the hype around LA Noire. But one game that dares to take it on at the tills is Garbage Truck Simulator.
For the PC, well done.
For PC, yeah.
Can I give a quote for that to get that on the box?
I think that'd be an
I think
excellent idea.
you should.
This is the best garbage truck simulation I've ever played in my life. Ian Lee.
Perfect.
Beautiful.
Definitely.
You can have that one, guys. That's for free. So that they would dare to... Wow. Imagine you're in the shop and you're a parent and you're going, well, my kid has asked me to buy a game that comes out today. And I say, is it LA Noire? Is it Garbage Truck? I'm going to go with the Garbage Truck Simulator. That looks more fun.
Yeah.
That looks more hands-on.
It's a bold move, isn't it?
I would love to know what's involved in the game. I think we should definitely call it.
We're calling it in. We'll give you a full review on Garbage Truck Simulator on the next.
Can we get a
podcast.
copy of it for free?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Go for it, obviously. But yes, well, next month, Garbage Truck Simulator Special.
The
Absolutely.
review.
No one else is doing it. No one else is doing it. Well done them for having the balls to take on the mighty Rockstar Games with that. You know, it's got to take nerve. We're doing it. We're releasing it. Lots of threes. I'm looking down at my sheet of notes. Yeah, we have notes, kids, and we still can't make it any better than this. Lots of threes. So let's go through them in the order that I have. Gears of War 3.
Yeah.
Epic Edition. It's going to cost £100.
I know.
And you get like a medal and
Statue.
Who cares? I mean, yeah, you like Gears of War, don't you, Nick?
I do, yeah. Very
Would
much.
you spend £100 on an Epic Edition to get a statue and a medal and a load of old tat?
No, I wouldn't, to be honest. But
I've
I
seen
can
people-
see why people would.
I've
Really?
seen people on Twitter saying they either have pre-ordered it or they are going to.
But why, Verity? Why?
I don't know. I guess if it's a game that you really love, like if it's a franchise you really, really love, then they'll do anything to get any extra bits and bobs they can for inside the game. So.
I got sent like a special edition of a game. It may have even been Gears of War, actually, in like a tin box with like loads of bonuses and loads of DVD and all this stuff. And I took it to trade it in, and it was worth less trade-in value than Gears of War.
No, really?
Normal edition. It was worth like £1.50 less or something like that than the Gears of War Trading Edition. So normal edition. So what? But there's no point to it.
You must have mates. You must have at least one mate who has all of those little
Little figures.
statues and
Yeah,
figures and things
actually.
like that. And it's people that love all of that
Yeah.
side of gaming that would be into it. I've got a mate who I could picture going out and buying this.
Yeah.
Just for the big Gears of War statue, and he could have that up above his PC rig.
Verity, you're far too sensible for any of this nonsense, though, aren't you?
Yes. I wouldn't, do
It
that.
seems a crazy.
Do you get a
Yeah.
flag?
Oh, there's a flag.
You get a flag.
Oh,
Yeah.
sign me up for that.
Nick got sent a statue for Total Shogun 2.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, well, that's on my desk. Yeah,
Samurai of some
wouldn't buy it,
description.
but-
Listen to us, aren't we? Sitting in our ivory towers going, well, I got sent this, and Nick got sent this, and I didn't get sent L.A. Noire a few days earlier. And there's all these people at home going, I hate you three. They've got pictures of us and voodoo dolls, and they're sticking knives into the voodoo dolls. I hate you, ungrateful three.
That would explain my back pain.
It would do. Well, listen, we realise that we are in a very privileged position, but we're trying to be honest with. Hey, if you're going to buy the Epic Edition of Gears of War 3, or you've bought any of those other kind of special edition packs with the statues and the posters and the stickers and what have you, then what's the Twitter MSN Gamecast?
Yeah, tweet us
hashtag?
with the hashtag MSN Gamecast.
Or you can email me, ian@ianlee.com, and we would like to hear from you. Maybe send us in pictures of you with your bonus
Collection
stuff.
of...
Yeah.
of
Yeah, the maddest collection.
Crazy.
That'd be
good
quite
to
nice.
see.
Send them in. We might put them up on the website at some point when it's in its new home. Mass Effect 3, bit of nonsense really. This is them trying to capture headlines, surely. You will feature same-sex relationships. Yeah, and it's going to be a load of geeky guys getting the girls to cop off with each other. That's all they're going to be doing
Right.
in it. Is it? I'm trying to think though. Have there been any other games that have had a gay element to it? And I don't.
Well, BioWare have done it in their other games.
Right.
So they had there was a lesbian relationship in the original Mass Effect.
Yep.
And it's also been in the Dragon Age games.
You can cop
But
off with same sex in Fable too, can't you?
You can, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Peter Molyneux's quite big on it in his games. He's very keen on inclusiveness.
Good, as we should be, of course.
Yeah,
It just
yeah.
seems the fact that this has come out as a story. It's like, you come on, guys,
tittle-tattle, wouldn't
you
it?
you
Yeah.
can do better than that in terms of trying to grab my attention. Although we've talked about it, so I guess it's worked in some way. Modern Warfare 3. They've leaked the storyline.
They have, yes.
Pretty
Now,
much
leaked-
everything.
Well, leaked makes it sound like it's an unofficial. They've done it as a deliberate, clever marketing
I don't
ploy.
know if they'd want to. The amount that's been leaked,
Really?
yeah, it's like the whole script.
Yeah, it's
Oh, really?
It's pretty much everything.
So
yeah.
where would this come from? A disgruntled employee,
I guess
a
so.
spy, someone who sneaked in and...
Yeah, well, it broke on Kotaku, and they apparently had someone who was within the developer or the publisher, and was just giving them all of these details. But there is on there you can see the whole detail of the list of the game's levels,
Wow.
every stage, and what
Okay.
happens, and the broad outline of the whole story.
Yeah.
Which characters live, which characters die.
Yeah.
There's loads of artwork that's
Well, that's
just
a bit naughty.
been
isn't
ripped
it?
from
That's a bit
somewhere
Yeah.
as well. So
Apparently
it's
they've-
wide open.
Apparently they have kept a few things to themselves because I don't want to completely spoil it. But they've pretty much put most of it out.
Verity, does this kind of thing, would this ruin a game for you? Would it ruin it in the same way as if you read the plot to Sixth Sense before you went and saw it?
Oh yeah, that would be rubbish. I
Really?
know. I luckily I saw it. Sixth Sense.
Yes.
I saw it before anybody told me, but I know somebody that got told the end.
Bruce Willis is a ghost, for those who don't know. I think we can say that now, like 12 years on.
Yeah, I
I've never
think so.
watched it because someone told me that
it's-
before I watched it, so
I
I've never
think
bothered.
You would
It's a good
completely
film.
ruin the because when you get to the end, you're like, oh my god.
Yeah.
But no, I don't know. I read like soap spoilers and
Yeah.
stuff like that, but if I knew exactly when things were going to happen, I don't think I would play it. I think
It's a bit disappointing.
I'd be really disappointed. But then again, I wouldn't read the spoilers.
Well, this is the thing: is you always have the option. There was Stephen Moffat, is it the guy who writes Doctor Who now, makes Doctor Who? Got very stroppy
Yeah.
that a load of Doctor Who fans leaked the first 2 episodes or something
Yeah.
online because there was a special press screening and fans were invited. And they said, "But you mustn't tell anyone about this." And of course, within hours, the plot was online. But I kind of agree with you, Verity. I would know where to go and look for these things. If I don't want to know it, I avoid it. It's quite simple.
Yeah, absolutely. And who buys Modern Warfare for the story anyway?
Well,
That's
yeah.
true. Yeah.
Going to run around shooting things, isn't it?
Exactly, yeah. Most people go straight into the multiplayer and won't even bother with the single player, I would suspect.
Wii 2 is going to be unveiled
Yes.
next month.
Next month.
E3.
Mm.
Now, is it going to be a proper next-gen console, or is it they just tinkered with it a little bit?
It had better be.
I think it better be.
It's been a while.
The
hasn't it?
only
be
reason
honest.
I think they really announced it was because it was the same day as they made their call that the Wii sales were falling quite
Okay,
rapidly.
right.
So I don't think they would have said anything about it if that hadn't have turned.
No, but then they did do this with the 3DS last year, didn't they? They pre-announced the 3DS and
No,
they said,
yeah.
but now we're not going to tell you anything else about
Right.
it
Leave it
until
bubbling.
E3. And then
Leave
you
it
get
bubbling.
it. So, yeah, it builds up the hype a little bit.
The thing that the only kind of thing I found online, the rumour was that it's got a slight, or a considerably bigger hard drive, but still much smaller than the PlayStation or the 360.
It needs to match them, really.
Well, yeah, and also that the discs would contain more information. That's all I've heard.
Yeah, well, there's a few rumours and guesses, but no one actually knows anything for definite because Nintendo hasn't said anything until it shows off. But the I think it's got to have more power. It's got to be substantially more powerful than the Xbox 360 or the PlayStation 3, because both of those machines are 5 or 6 years old. It's got to be more powerful than them. And I heard an interesting rumour about the controllers, that they would have a 6-inch touchscreen in the middle.
Oh, okay.
And that could be really cool. If you had a proper controller with triggers and analog sticks and buttons, but then this touchscreen in it as well, and then you've got multiple options there of how to control your games. That'd be really cool for a game
That would
like,
be wicked.
say you're in Resident Evil, and you want to access your inventory, and you've
do
just
it
got
there.
all of that up, and it
Yeah.
just could make games a lot more
Yeah.
immediate. You don't have all those screens that are pulling you out of the game all the time. It's just down there below.
The Dreamcast did a slightly similar thing using older technology, where you had the little memory cards, but
Yeah.
they had a little tiny little screen, and they did it for a couple of games actually quite effectively. And what appeared on this screen correlated with what was going on in the game, and you could sort of use it. I can't remember exactly what you could do, and you were supposed to be able to exchange information and stuff like that. And that was quite nice. But yes, a 6-inch touchscreen or whatever incorporated into the game would be awesome.
It would be a really nice touch. Obviously, there's the question of price then.
Yeah.
Is that going to be an expensive addition, and how much would it be to buy extra controllers for it and everything? But then it's something really innovative then, isn't it? Which is what Nintendo's become known for. For really pushing things forward in different
Remember when the
ways.
Wii controller came out, when the Wii came out and the controllers, and it was revolutionary. Now we're kind of used to it, and it's been taken to the next step with Kinect and with the PlayStation 1's thing. But it, at the time, was amazing.
It was, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the first time you got hold of the motion control on Wii and did bowling on Wii Sports.
Incredible.
That was just, it was a real standout.
Verity,
moment.
what would you like to see in the Wii 2?
Well, like Nick said, definitely more power,
Yeah.
so better kind of graphics, because it just doesn't hold up to what you can get on the Xbox and PlayStation. Bigger hard drive. It'd be good to see some better kind of franchises making their way onto the Wii. So it's kind of considered on the same level as Xbox and PlayStation.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, I think sometimes in the kind of more core gaming franchises, it's kind of forgotten a little bit
Yeah.
or looked down upon because of it doesn't have the graphical capability.
But also, this is
Xbox
their
and
selling
PlayStation
point,
does.
and this is why it's been so successful. They kind of said, "Hey, it's not like a game, proper game. It's for all the family, and we've got the Wii Fit, and we've got this, and we've got that, and Grandma can sit at home and play it." Whereas the Xbox and PS3 have pretty much said, with a few exceptions, this is a gaming machine. This is what you do. You sit down, you play games with it, and so.
But then it tried to kind of pull back when it started to release things like Mad World and it had the Resident Evil franchise go to it and things like that. It tried to kind of say, well, yeah, we are family, but we do these games as well. And I think with Kinect and Move, they're kind of now trying to say, well, look, you can have a casual gaming experience on the Xbox and PlayStation, then maybe Wii needs to go the other way.
Yeah, it will be good, and it'll be good because Wii's got some awesome stuff online. Like, I mean, I think it was the first console to have iPlayer incorporated into it, and it's stuff like that. But it'd be great if it just took the online stuff to the next level and became a bit more immersive.
That really needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
Because it's rubbish at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ooh.
multiplayer and things.
Having that huge code that you have to put in to find your
that's silly,
friends
isn't it?
is so off-putting.
Yeah.
And it's it really needs to be fixed and just be made a lot more immediate.
And they need to find more uses for that pulse thing that they had that you put on your finger. That always surprised me. That never really took off.
Well, it's never even come out yet.
Did it not come out in the end?
It got announced 3 years ago, and we're still
guys.
waiting for the vitality sensor.
Maybe this is going to be an integral part of the Wii 2.
I hope so.
Wouldn't that be great?
The Wii 1 is having its price. I don't want to say slashed because it's not. It's not a slashing. It's a gentle cutting.
It's getting pretty cheap. $129
Nice.
for a Wii
Cheap,
console,
ain't
and you get Mario Kart with it.
Oh, okay. Well, how much is a
pretty
Wii
good.
these days?
It's like $170.
Oh, in that case, I apologise, Nintendo. I take that back. That's a borderline slash. And they're bringing out the Nintendo Select's budget range, which is going to be games for I think $19.99 or something.
Yeah, £19. Not much of a selection at the moment.
Nintendo's always quite. I don't know if they are now, but I remember going into. Game and Computer Exchange. There's a few of these shops in London. I think there are a few scattered around the country, which is a great place to buy second-hand games. Really cheap, and they've got loads of stuff, like really old stuff. And I remember going in once to buy some stuff for the GameCube, and they said Nintendo had kind of had a word and said, we don't want you selling Nintendo stuff anymore. And they sort of pulled the plug on it. I don't know if that's still the case, and that situation may have changed. But they're always quite funny about the resale and the brand and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. These select games, one of them is Wii Sports.
Sorry?
Which they want £19 for. And you think, well, everyone with a Wii has Wii Sports. Why is anyone going to pay £19 for
I like it when you get defiant. You can't see it, listen, I'll take a picture of it one day. He pulls a really defiant face and says, come on, don't try and mug me off. What are you doing? Rumours that there is a next generation Xbox is in development. These are rumours that it's going to be available late 2012. Apparently, an anonymous insider at EA Games has said, "Oh yeah, I've seen it, and it's going to be awesome." And then a week later, or a couple of days later, EA Games came out and said, "No, we haven't seen it. I don't know who this is. Nothing to do with us. We've got no idea at all whatsoever."
Yeah.
So, is this just wishful thinking from the freaks on the internet, or is this a little bit of subterfuge? I'll say that again correctly. Going on the part of.
It sounds like rumours and wishing really.
Yeah.
But then if there is a next gen console coming from either Microsoft or Sony, then you've got to get it in the hands of the developers pretty quickly so that they can have real quality games to come out with at launch. And with Nintendo announcing their next one, then maybe new Xbox, new PS aren't too far away.
Indeed, happy days. And I'll tell you what my favourite thing about when there's rumours of new consoles coming out is the photos that get released. Oh, I've got a photo of the new Xbox handheld portable. Do you remember that one? Yeah. And it's just someone had completely doctored this nonsense, and it looked awesome. But that always gets me a little bit.
I just find it so funny that anybody that seems to be able to get these photos before the product's even been announced or is available, never seem to be able to take a very good photo, do they?
No,
never.
they
Just
a
a very
photo.
clear photo in good daylight, so you can see it all. No, it's always blurry with no flash.
I was in a bar in Seattle, and someone from Microsoft left the next generation console on their seat, and I managed to get this photo before he came back and collected it. It's all really blurry and awesome. I love all that stuff.
Because they're taking it with a spy camera, you see, like James Bond.
Of course, yeah.
It's espionage.
Very exciting. I think that is. This is no. This is the big thing. And of course, we've not mentioned it at all. We've not mentioned it at all, and we have to tread carefully here because, yes, I am being paid by MSN, and you two work for them. But one of the joys of me doing this job is I'm allowed to say pretty much what I want. So when Xbox and Microsoft mess it up, I am quite happy, and it may be easier for me to say it than you two, but I'm quite happy to come in and say they have messed up. So, this is coming from a genuine point of interest. PlayStation have completely balls things up, haven't they?
They really
Sony
have,
totally balls thing up with their PlayStation Network being hacked and handled it terribly. I got my email, I think about 10 or 11 days after they'd announced it, which was a few days after it happened, saying, your PlayStation Network account may have been compromised. Don't worry, but they could have got access to your bank details, your address, your email, and everything.
Yeah.
So, what was it, 4 days after it happened that PlayStation announced it had happened, and then another 10 days later to get an email saying, that's pretty poor show.
Yeah.
Really poor.
And it's been huge as well. 77 million people having their details accessed in one way or another.
I read online that some huge body has demanded an investigation from PlayStation. They want to know exactly when they knew about it, how they knew about it, what they're going to do to stop it again. Is it, where are we recording this? We're on the 17th, I think, of May. Is it back online yet, the PlayStation Network?
It is, to play games.
Right.
The store is still not online.
Okay.
As of, an hour ago.
Right.
But you can get back online and play.
And what have they done to beef up security? Have they done anything?
Well, they said they were going to rebuild it completely, and they got independent experts in as well, didn't they, to help them sort all of that side of things out. I think the thing that disappointed me about it was that they weren't encrypting these details. Because it's been said by a lot of people that any company can get hacked. It can happen to any company at all. You can't make a system completely unhackable, and everybody understands that, but just a bit of decent level encryption in the first place on sensitive personal details. So there was things like people's secret questions, like what's your mother's maiden name and stuff like that. There was that was access. So that really that really is a shame. And the initial response from Sony was very disappointing to a lot of people as well.
It was quite cold, and the initial statement that came out was a bit, never mind.
Yeah.
Well, hang on a minute. Mind a lot, please. This is terrible. I've got a friend, Lino, who is not going to subscribe again. He's kind of had enough, and because the offer they've made now, isn't it? You can have 2 free games, and you get 30 days free.
Upgrade to
PSN Plus. But the games that they're available, apparently a lot of them are available on PSN Plus anyway to download it for free or something. And my friend is he's done it, and he's like, well, this is a rubbish.
Well, I think this is a pretty good deal, to be fair.
Okay,
and I think that Sony's definitely dropped the ball in the way they initially dealt with that with the whole issue. But when you think about the fact that there's been this downtime, but no one's paying for the PlayStation Network service. It's a free service, and so it's been down. It's not been available. Now it's back up, and they're saying, well, you've missed out on some game time, so here's some free stuff on top of the free service we already give you. The games are offering things like Little Big Planet, Infamous. You can get Wipeout HD. Those are good quality games, and some people will already have them. Sure, if they're real huge committed gamers, but a lot of people are going to find some value in that offer, and there's going to be some good stuff for them to get for nothing. On top of the fact that they don't pay for the network in the first place.
It's all a mess, and I say this again: if Microsoft did the same thing, we would be attacking them as defiantly as we are now. It's a huge cock up in the world of gaming. What's been brilliant is that Radio 4 has kind of been following this story, and in that way that middle class or middle aged posh Radio 4 deals with stuff, is they're amazed that people are quite upset about this, but they're interviewing all these gamers, going, well, I've not been able to play on my PlayStation online, and all my friends are online and stuff like that. And they were sort of having a snigger. And then I heard another report where they got a psychologist who's like an online relationship expert. And he said, well, if you think about it, friendships are different these days for this generation of people, in that they've got all of these worlds where they communicate and meet up with their friends and go and hang out and play games and stuff. And that's been taken away from them, So it is quite a devastating blow. Part of me does think, go and read a book. Do you know what I mean? Go and kick a ball around.
I heard a similar approach on Radio 5 News. And,
Right.
the newsreader, it was when the story was first breaking, he was saying, there's been this downtime on PlayStation Network. And then he said, oh, well, you might as well go outside instead of make a change. That's from the newsreader. You're going to be impartial.
Again,
classic kind of
hashtag. And what was I keep forgetting the hashtag. But it's really simple.
Hashtag is MSN Gamecast.
That's us.
We were going to have Gamecast, but then it turned out that clashes with ESPN's live
Gamecast
coverage in the US.
Oh, blimey.
You get a bit submerged under all that.
Yes,
So,
let's have the MSN Gamecast.
Yeah,
Also, Ian at
MSN
iainlee.com. Let us know how the PlayStation network
But do you think
affected you.
Do you think that apart from like your friend, do you think it will affect them that much? Do you think many people will turn their back?
No.
I don't think they will
No, I
either.
don't think they will.
Most people that I've seen on Twitter and Facebook, okay, they were a bit annoyed to begin with, but
Yeah.
now they're just so happy it's back
Yeah.
up. They just can't wait to get back into it.
I think that Sony obviously know that as well. They know that they might lose, 0.001%, but everyone is just going to welcome them with open arms. Even if they came back and said, hey, you've got to pay us £10 each. Most people go, yeah, okay, okay, we'll do that then. So yeah, let us know how it affected you, and if it upset you, if you went and did something different because you couldn't play your PlayStation, let us know what that was, and we might have a little look at it. Anything else that we've got? I think we've pretty much covered everything, haven't we? It's quite an action-packed episode this month. Maybe we should be charging for this. Can we charge for this? Can we get any? No, we probably shouldn't. Verity, Nick, anything else that you'd like to bring up before we close this nonsense?
That's about the gist of it, I think.
I think we'd like to hear from people what they want from E3, because I think by the time the next podcast is done.
That's a very good point. Yep.
Well done.
E3 is coming up. What are the big games that you want to see?
Mm-hmm.
What are you hoping to see from the Wii 2 as well, as we mentioned?
I'm a bit bored of sequels, or the third part of sequels. Look at this, Gears of War 3, Mass Effect 3, Modern Warfare 3. Let's be good for something.
Give us some new stuff.
Yeah, something new and fresh that we can get our hands on. Okay, that's your lot. This has been Verity, Nick, and I'm Ian Lee. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you next month. Ta-ta.
Cheerio.
Bye.
Gamecast from MSN.